Hi, my name is Ray Eves, and today's video is entitled, What Race Were the Ancient Egyptians? Don't miss my special message to the obnoxious ones of the past and the present at the end of this video. Many wonder why the beautiful walls of Egypt were resketched and repainted numerous times by European archaeologists who spend millions of dollars in Egypt trying to resketch the walls of Egypt into Europeans, Asians, and Mediterranean features, lightening up the skin complexion, changing the hair texture, and everything you can think of to deceive the world. Exactly what they are hiding from the world. I'll tell you what. They are trying to hide the true identity of these woolly-haired, dark-skinned, beautiful features, and let me not forget the well-developed bodies of the original Egyptians. There is no way that you can hide the race of the Egyptians, who are the melaninite, pigmented people, the black race. So the original race is very clear and real. In Egypt, we had names for other races, starting with the European, who we called Tama'hu. We also called the Caucasians Tutaat. As true Egyptians, we are confirmed on the walls of every temple, every mir or pyramid, every sebchet or pylon, every granite stone, and every tikhenu or obelisk needle that exists. So why are the Europeans denying the true race of the Egyptians? We are the indigenous people of Egypt, the Tahites, the Tu'af. We are the descendants of Ta, which means the opener. These names precede Egypt, which is a Greek word pronounced ahiguptos, meaning burnt or scorched faces. What you see in Egypt today are not original Egyptians. They are Turks from Turkey who roamed the Altai mountains, and Gypsies from Armenia, Indo-Arabs, Greeks, European, and the like. They have mixed their seed with the Nubians, the Ethiopians, Egyptians, Sudanese, Nigerians, Native Americans, Haitians, and the rest of the black race there is. These people are trying to pretend like they are Egyptians, but they are not. The European race has no pictures on any wall, for that matter, of their history or existence. And that is simply because they cannot verify themselves as a part of any history or culture. It is easy for them to try to make the claim that they are Egyptians because pale-skinned people are occupying our motherland today and making films, documentaries, and movies that give the starring roles to the white race. With every proven document that confirms the Egyptians were black, the European society still adamantly denies it. But they will not be able to keep hiding the truth. The Hyksos, which means shepherd kings, dynasty were light-skinned mixed Arabs and Greeks with straight hair and Syrian Phoenician features. They were allowed to invade Egypt after the pharaoh Khufu removed the immigration ban so that Egyptian can accept Nofret, who was of a mixed race. Nofret was the wife of Rahotep, Khufu's son. Allowing Hyksos to invade Egypt is why Khufu is held in such great esteem by Europeans and is the reason why his face is on the Masonic Shriners symbol. We did not invite the Europeans into our home. They invaded our homeland, Africa, just like they invaded America and China. These Caucasians stole all of our natural resources, from the gold to the lapis lazuli to malachite and diamonds. They stole South America's minerals as well as their birthright and culture. Then they left the country. Some even had the nerve to stay. The same incident happened to the Egyptians. The Egyptians' land was invaded because of their or our generosity and kind-heartedness to those foreign European Tama'hu or Caucasian Tutaat tribes who took the Egyptians our kindness for weakness. These Hyksos tied into the vine and mixed their blood in attempts to lessen our culture of respect for nature and the worshipping of our ancestors. Their goal was to stamp out our beautiful features and replace our traditional customs with their spookism, the worship of nothingness, the worship of the invisible, and their uncultured practices. They don't mind us being Christians, Muslims, Israelite Hebrews, Africans, 5%ers, or Indians for that matter. But they just don't want us to link back with our ancient culture, or our ancient ancestors' culture. Why is it that so many authors around the world recognize the Egyptians as blacks, but they don't want to accept the fact that American Negroes are also the Egyptians? Here are statements from two Greek historians. One is Herodotus, who lived around 484 BC to 425 BC, a Greek historian known as the father of history. Born in Halikarnassus, which is now Bodrum, Turkey. He has been in exile from Halikarnassus about 457 BC for conspiring against the Persian rule. Later on, he went to Samos, from which he traveled through Asia Minor, Babylonia, Egypt, and Greece. The other is a Greek historian, Diodorus Siculus, who lived around 90 BC through 21 BC. Born in Agyrium, Sicily, he was a contemporary of Julius Caesar and Augustus, first emperor of Rome. Diodorus traveled in Asia Minor and Europe and lived in a long time in Rome, collecting the material for his great Bibliotheca Historica, or Bible history, or historical library. This is their written statement of what they saw the Egyptians as. Quote, "The Egyptians and Nubians have thick lips, broad noses, woolly hair, and burnt skin. And the Indian tribes I have mentioned, their skins are all the same color, much like the Ethiopians. Their country is a long way from Persia towards the south, signed Herodotus, unquote. And quote, the Egyptians and Nubians, quote, and upon his return to Greece, they gathered around and asked, tell us about this great land of the blacks called Ethiopia. And Herodotus said, there are two great Ethiopian nations. One is Sind, or India, and the other in Egypt, recorded by Diodorus, unquote. The Greek archaeologists have taken all of the information and Egyptian artifacts that don't agree with their doctrine and burnt them all by the thousands. So cruel, but so true. The only people who are ignorant of all these atrocities are the Negroes, us. We don't know how great we were and can be again. Once we find out about our greatness, it will eliminate the inferiority complexes that we have. This is why it is important to teach the youth the facts and don't let them be caught up in fantasies and fictions. The end. Now, first, let me say thank you all for watching these videos and for your comments, even the smut-filled ones. I expected this genre of response to come from the dim-witted proletariat who should, at this point, be reaching for a dictionary. Profanity and derogatory name-calling in response to vivid elucidation, in response to clear and concise edification is the bane of a dense, vacuous mind, a vacuum-filled cranial cavity with the incapacity to facilitate a conscionable, coherent, articulate ideal. Instead of punking out under a poisonous pen, why not just man up and show your face, oh fastidious one? Broadcast yourself with a rebuttal, if you so dare, being that you are neither blatantly inept nor literally challenged nor a literary flop. Or are you? Prove to the world that this indisputable, unshakable information from Dr. Malachi Z. York of the Nubian nation of Moors is anything other than the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding that it is. The sound, right reasoning which is catered towards all those who are willing to learn, and the educated, the well-informed, towards the scientists, the archaeologists, the astrophysicists, the solar biologists, the historians, and the geneticists, to all those who know the truth yet fabricate alternate realities. Show us you don't just blow hot, poisonous wind from that vocal cavity of yours. Irregardless, we welcome all comments. The negative and the positive have their place in the universal scheme of things. So, go ahead, knock yourself out. Just don't revert to the homogeneous Neanderthal, because civilizing and reforming him was no easy task for us in ancient Egypt, and apparently to no avail, for just observe how we are still being repaid even today. Remember, We are expecting a video rebuttal from you. Not your emotions, not your whimpering and whining. If you cannot produce solid facts, solid evidence to back up any statements that you make, then you should just muzzle up with the serious thoughts of having your entire self prognosticated by a proctologist. Checkmate. Hope I didn't lose you. That ends today's tape. We hope you learned something from this video. We urge you to share this video and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies, no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click on the like button below. See you at the next video, which is the next video.